In our previous videos, we defined the user journey, our backbone, and we sliced the MVP release. In this video, we are going to look into how this visual map can help our engineering team. Unlike a flat backlog that's hard to prioritize, the story map provides sequencing and context. We can clearly see who is the user persona interacting with the solution that we are building. We can identify immediately what are those high-level user goals and how we can break that down into user steps. This clearly visualizes the user journey itself. The activities of our users are sequential. It tells our entire interaction from start to end in a chronological order, making sure that the map automatically dictates the flow of development. For example, we cannot develop first the start parking session. First, the user needs to find the parking, and we need to accommodate all these features that makes this possible at the first place. The story map also helps identify immediately and prioritize user stories. We can see the high prioritized stories on the top of our story map and the lower priority stories on the bottom of the story map. We can easily slice and visualize the MVP slice so everybody understands what are those features that we need to develop first. Let's take a closer look at how the user story map helps to the development team. Using the map, it helps achieving a shared understanding and identify the why and what. Through the context, it visually connects individual tasks back to the overarching user goal, giving developers the context of why they are building a specific feature. The communication is also supported by using the user story map. It serves as a single source of truth that the entire team can literally stand around and discuss, ensuring everyone has the same understanding on the project. The second benefit for our product team is the effective prioritization and scoping, ensuring that we have the right focus. By staking user stories vertically by value, the team can easily see the minimum viable product with all the essential features required for the first release at the very top of our story map. Using the story map also helping eliminating waste. It prevents the team from over-developing non-essential features, making sure they build the most important functionality first. This is going to be critical to establishing the foundation of the solution. One of the most powerful benefits of the user story mapping for our product team is to streamline release and iteration planning. The visual story map allows us to define releases more efficiently. The map enables the team to visually draw a line to define what features will constitute in release 1, 2, or later releases. This makes scoping and budgeting much easier and understandable for everybody with a clear focus. The story map also helps to identify dependencies in the backlog. Since the steps are laid out in a user flow, the team can easily spot dependencies between tasks and features, allowing the team to plan the development order logically to avoid any blockers. Let's address these points in practice. Prioritizing our backlog is key to our success. We can look into details of user stories even on individual level. Until this point, we worked on the discovery phase of our project. Under the planning interface, we are able to prioritize our user stories even further and make sure to align our stakeholders. We can assign priority value for every single story that we are working with. We can utilize the standard prioritization, set Kano or Moscow framework if our team prefers that better. We can also assign business value to our user stories and an effort that our team estimates their work. This additional layer helps our team to communicate even better and make sure that everybody has the same understanding on each item in our product backlog. The story map not only helps to understand and consume information easier, but to support the communication. We can assign card annotation to our user stories. If something needs a discussion, for example, we can enable that on our story map for immediately pointing out the relevant details for our stakeholders. The engineering team can immediately spot dependencies or any critical information that they need to consider or address at this point. It is also critical to estimate our effort for every single task in the backlog. The backlog view of the story map helps our team to see the exact progress of the development. we can review the progress of our user stories. Additionally, because the user stories are tied to a user activity, the team can easier estimate each stories in the product backlog much more accurately. Using story points, we can further support our engineering team. We can take a closer look at what is really happening on the MVP release level. We can access a specific release just like the MVP. We can review our user journey, high-level user goals, and the user journey steps. We can access user stories that are specific to our MVP release on this Kanban style board according to their status breakdown. Each story, you can access which user goal and step in the user journey they are belonging to. And of course, you can filter through whether you are interested in any specific step in the user journey. The story map helps in many ways to better understand each other, communicate effectively, and prioritize even more efficiently in order to deliver a better solution for your users. This process ensures engineering doesn't just see a list of features, but understands the user goal behind the code. The map becomes the single source of truth for planning. It allows product and engineering to collaboratively confirm the scope. Based on the estimate, we are confident that we can deliver this entire MVP slice in 3 sprints. It's a powerful tool for predictability and stakeholder management as well. In our next video, we are going to explore how we can use StoriesOnBoard AI to include great details to our user stories, including acceptance criteria, writing test cases, and many more.